Hi. Well, this happened so fast that I just want to show you. I wanted to start decorating this, but I want to show you how this happened. This is a tiny little book that I'm making this morning. So I had this piece of, it's actually quite firm. So I think it's like cardstock off of something. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just heavy duty um, watercolor paper, because this stamp is very familiar, the brown leaf and the blue. So I know that I made this on this paper. And the paper was just sitting here on my workbench, one of the little scraps that gets in your way. Kind of like this one here. But this one is just a piece of very thin paper. So I was kind of looking around to see if maybe there's another piece of heavier gauge cardstock. This, no, that is somebody's business card and it's way too firm. But I did just see this and I want to use that in something. So, so I turned on the camera just to show you this, and it was maybe a little premature, but let me lift this. Oh, this feels kind of firm. Oh, this is like the first page that I used in here. It has polka dots on it. I don't know what it's from. I must have cut out a bunch of them because they're like 3x3 pieces. So I'm going to trim this down a little because it's actually not square. It's close. I'm looking for my smaller cutting board. I have about 6 journals out here in my way. Well, there's more than 6. But, okay, so here's what I'll do. Where'd that book go? Here it is. So I'm going to take this. Sometimes when I can't find my cutting board, I just use something else. There. Okay, so that's going to be the cover. Fold it in half. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I like polka dots, and maybe I'll even cover it later. I don't know. And this is kind of neat, too. This is a piece of paper that I made. Or, no, I know what this is. Sometimes you have to stop and remember. This is a piece that I coffee dyed a while back, or tea, one of the two, because I do both. Anyway, so now I have this little cover, and then I took a piece of watercolor paper that's not real stiff. Like this is probably 140, because you want to be able to bend it. And I used the same measurement technique. I just kind of laid this on here. And in looking at it, I thought, oh, I'm not going to get 2 of these if I go that way. So I turned it. This is exactly what I did with the other one. And what I'll end up doing is this piece that I've cut off, I'll end up making that in a different book because it's a little bit shorter. And I didn't want a lot of pages in this book, so I really just cut 2 of these. And then when you fold them, I'm putting those in my little scrap box. You get out of here, you're too small of a scrap. Just fold it in half. And if I knew what, oh, here's my whatchamajiggy thing. I always forget what it's called because it has such a stupid name. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Because bone folder. What the heck? Bone. I don't fold bones. Anyway. They should call it a presser stick, because that's what I do with it. I press. Anyway. Alright, so now, yep, I've got like some uneven edges. Well, you know how to take care of that. And just trim them off. I have to watch the time because I have to leave here today. Oh, shoot. In 20 minutes. Alright, so I'm almost done, actually, with what I wanted to show you. So I had got to this point, And I thought, okay, now, yeah, I'm trimming this again, darn it. Okay, so I thought now, I want to sew it, you know? So I got to go find a needle. And finding a needle in my house is like the hardest thing to find. I mean, you think a needle in a haystack is hard. You should try finding one in my house. Anyway, I said, oh, I know where to find a needle. I have a sewing machine set up in the other room, and next to it, I've got like 3 pin cushions. So I walked in there and I looked through the pin cushions, and what do you think I found? Pins, of course, in a pin cushion. Not one stinking needle. And so I'm sitting there going, where do I find a needle? And out of the corner of my ear, I hear my sewing machine going, pick me, pick me. And you know, I thought, I don't know if you're up to this sewing machine. It's a really good sewing machine. But I picked it up and I said, okay, we'll find out. And so I took a pin, because when you fold this, you can't really see where the crease is once you open it up because it's all white. So I took a pin and I just kind of stuck it in the top where the fold is so that I could see it. And I turned it around and I stuck it under the needle, and voila. Can you see that? I mean, it whipped through it like a hot knife through butter. Now, granted, there was only 3 sheets, but this is a pretty decent watercolor paper. It's not like copy paper. And it went, and this, which was heavy duty stuff, and it just whipped right through it. And you don't have to go all the way to the ends. I mean, you don't do that when you sew them anyway. And I love it. So I just had to trim off the extra little thread at the end there, and we're done. So I'm going to take this and do the same thing, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side when I get to putting stuff in this. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.